There's probably three things that I just wanted to finish off with in terms of what I've heard over the last 2 days, and I think it's worth mentioning a few of those messages that we want to take away. The second thing is what I'm going to take away from the 2 days that we've just had, and what I'm going to try and get our organisation to commit to, and then thirdly, what I challenge all of you in the room to go away from the last 2 days, such that you can go and get your organisations and yourselves to commit to as well. So in terms of what I've heard, I think the best way to actually describe some of that is to talk about some of the quotes that I've jotted down as I've listened to all of the panels, and I think that they give us a good snapshot of what we've discussed over the last few days. One of my favourite quotes was, "If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together." And I think that's a really important message for us. Another one which was, "Magic happens when you have a coalition of unusual bedfellows," which I think has been the case over the last couple of days, and some of that tension came from that fact that I think we've had some good conversations. One is, "There is hope Paris will deliver commitments, but businesses and society need to act." So I think that message of we all have our part to play. Investors are driving change as much as governments, which I think came out in a couple of sessions. And then another one which was, "Pragmatism is going to be critical to tackling the issues of climate change." So none of those words are my own, but they're things that I've taken away from the discussions that we've had. I think the other thing that I'll say that I have heard a lot of, which I'll lead into what I think I'm going to take away from the last 2 days to commit to and to try and get Ernst & Young to commit to. We're a very large organisation. We employ over 200,000 people globally. And I saw a statistic that someone told me in my leadership group the other day is that over the next 12 months, Ernst & Young will hire 61,000 people globally. Now that's an awful lot of people. And I think what that's telling me and what I've heard from today is I need to find a way to harness those people in order to take on board some of the topics that we've been discussing today. And the three areas that I'm going to commit to do something about in terms of getting the discussions and trying to bring people together on these topics outside of this room, and the comment was made, we're preaching to the converted just in the last session. How do we take it outside of this room? And the three topics that I've picked up from today are the SDGs and how Ernst & Young, we've just reinvigorated our purpose around building a better working world. And so I'm going to look at how we can take the SDGs and implement that across our business. The second one is, what can we do to facilitate better discussion and implementation of action on the transboundary issues? The haze clearly is a topic that keeps on coming up. And then the last one is about getting finance into sustainability and what can we do about really driving adoption in this region, in the Asia Pacific region specifically, on green bonds. So those are the three things that I'm going to take away, and perhaps next year when I come back I can talk about whether I've had any success on those three topics, and you can all hold me to account. Which brings me to my last comment, which is I hope you all do the same thing. So if we can all in this room leave the 2 days that we've just had, leave this conference and say, what are the three things or the 2 or 3 things that we're going to take away and actually drive into our business? Because the reality is we aren't doing enough. There's no question. I'm part of the business community, and the business community at the moment, whether it's big business, whether it's small or medium-sized enterprises, we are not doing enough. And if we were, we wouldn't actually all need to be here today. So I think that's the challenge for all of us, is to go away and say, it's time for a change. Thank you.